It's been easy because we've had existing city commissioners, and I was basically the new kid on the block. I tried to adapt certain policies and certain regulations, watching the waterworks, watching the fire bond. I apologize if I've embarrassed any of my colleagues with trying to get those accomplished, but we got them accomplished. So it's my job as an elected official to make sure that those things are taken care of and the taxpayers' dollars watched out for, and I've been trying to do a very good job with that. Your endorsement obviously would mean a tremendous amount to me, to help me fulfill the rest of my promise and the goals I want for our city. So to that extent, I'll thank you and leave you.
I do have one more question.
Here she goes.
Do you think you've been hampered at all by having your county commissioner husband critiquing your every vote and move up there on the dais?
Well, I don't think he critiques every vote and move. As a matter of fact, I know he doesn't critique every vote and move. No, we've been able actually to balance it, I'd say, pretty well. Do I think that I have disadvantages or advantages to being married to a public official? Yes, of course I do. Of course I do. I've had that ever since he was a public official, and it's been that way for ever since I've known him. So with conversation and dialect and debate at the dinner table,
do you take all his advice?
Your old is into it too. He's in the Young Voters Club, so he's real, out there.
Do you take all of his advice on how?
Not. We're seriously different on some of the issues.
Really?
On actually very large issues. He sees my point. I'm. He's at the tail end of what he's doing. He's term limited out. He's got his own philosophy. He is enthusiastic about my philosophy and very encouraging. Even though I'm sure there are occasions when he differs with what I have to say, he's, let her go out there and try to.
One large issue that you disagree with, as it pertains to Fort Lauderdale or
well, we have a little bit of a disagreement on the mass transit and the FEC rail, so I think that's probably the one that affects me the most. A lot of the areas that I have need that. To further the development. I've been very.
He doesn't support passenger rail on the FEC?
Well, I think he would probably go for the FEC, but I'm not. He's very concerned about how much money it's going to cost to put in that light rail system. And the presentations that we get at the city, because it's directed right at our city, are very comprehensive. So our presentations include, and we ask, defined benefits. Defined taxes. Who's going to pay for this? So he is always worried. The county cut several $1 million off their budget, so they're very concerned. We haven't done that yet. So to the extent that the light rail can be done in a way that we can afford the light rail and that the light rail is paid for by the people that will be benefiting from it in the area and not by the people that won't be benefiting.
Are you talking about the wave, the light rail?
Yeah. That part, once that happens, I'm sure he would be very supportive of it. But right now where it sits, he's not. The airport, we have similar views on the airport, and basically for the same reason. The cost of airline tickets will go up with the new FAA-approved expansion that they're planning. He had a constituency that didn't want airport expansion, so that's where he represents his people, and I had to represent my people. And my group feels that the expansion of the runway, the north of the, now you have to get this right, the north of the south runway expansion, there would have been better than the extension and expansion that is put in front of us today. Strictly because we are a low-cost airport, and we want to be able to be a low-cost airport, especially now when people aren't traveling as much. So that was the main concern there. It really revolves mostly about the money and the taxes and who's going to pay for it with both of us. So we're very similar on that. How we get there is we do it different ways.
All right.